The courtroom was filled with a heavy silence. Everyone waited, unsure of what to expect. Will Smith sat at the witness stand, composed, but tense. The judge asked if he was ready to speak. He nodded quietly. Cameras focused on him as the room held its breath. For months, rumors had swirled, whispers about secrets and conflicts involving powerful figures in the industry. Now, it was time for the truth. Will took a deep breath and began. His voice was steady and calm. He spoke about how sometimes pain is hidden behind smiles, how even the brightest moments can cover deep struggles. The courtroom listened closely. He recalled a night years ago at a private party in Beverly Hills. He was there with Jada, invited by a well-known industry figure. The atmosphere was lively, filled with celebrities and music. Yet something felt different that night. Will noticed a change in the energy, something controlling and unsettling. He didn't share all the details, but said he was approached with a demand that left a lasting impression. Years went by, but the memory stayed with him. He described the industry's power as not just about fame or money, but about control and influence. He wasn't the only one affected. Gasps filled the room. Lawyers exchanged looks. An objection was raised but overruled. The truth had to be told. Will's voice shook as he explained how he stayed silent for years to protect his career and family. But now, he could no longer keep quiet. He revealed the emotional toll it had taken on him, how he had to rebuild himself away from the public eye. The judge leaned in. A jury member wiped away a tear. Then Will did something unexpected. He pulled out a letter. It was handwritten by someone else in the industry who had experienced similar challenges. He read a few lines about fear and isolation. The courtroom was silent. This was no longer just a story about celebrities. It was about real people facing real struggles. At the back, the person named watched quietly, expression unreadable. Will met his gaze briefly before looking away. The judge called for a short break. Reporters rushed outside, phones buzzing with breaking news. But inside, something deeper had shifted. The weight of truth breaking through. When the court resumed, Will returned to the stand with a calm but focused expression. He spoke about the years he carried the burden alone, witnessing others face the same pressures while the world only saw the glitz. He described how powerful people could influence careers silently through expectations, invitations that weren't truly optional, and missed opportunities. He shared a moment backstage at an event when he realized the control was real. Though he didn't reveal the exact words, he said it was the moment he understood he wasn't truly free. Will told how attempts to distance himself were met with consequences. Projects canceled, meetings called off. It was clear the influence was more than coincidence. Will spoke of his family, his children, and how he stayed silent to protect them from the darker sides of the industry. But now he wanted them to know the truth, not rumors, but his real journey. He showed a second letter from a close friend urging him to speak up. The words echoed in the room. "Your silence lets the power continue." This testimony was about strength and healing, not revenge. The courtroom was quiet as Will finished. Even skeptics felt the weight of his words. He stepped down and sat beside his legal team. Across the room, the other party remained calm, but tense. The next day, the courthouse buzzed with media. The opposing legal team claimed the testimony was exaggerated and lacked proof, but their words felt empty. A respected former industry executive then testified, confirming that similar patterns of pressure and silence were common behind closed doors. Emails and records were presented, showing changes in business dealings that aligned with Will's story. The atmosphere shifted. It was no longer just a dispute between two people, but a broader conversation about power and silence in the industry. The opposing party chose not to respond publicly. Closing statements focused on Will's experience and called for understanding beyond gossip. After deliberation, the court ruled in favor of Will Smith. While not a criminal conviction, the decision recognized the emotional impact and acknowledged his courage in speaking out. Will did not seek money, only acknowledgement of the truth. The courtroom remained silent, a silence full of respect. Will stood, took a moment to breathe, and left without looking back. Outside, cameras flashed, but Will stayed focused, reflecting quietly. The other party left without comment. Social media erupted with reactions, but one fact was clear. Will Smith had shared his truth not as a celebrity, but as a person seeking freedom from fear. This moment sparked conversations across the industry and beyond. When truth is spoken openly, even the brightest lights cannot hide it. This was not about fame. It was about courage.